Germany's latest PMI numbers just out, and services come in worse than expected. It sinks to 48.3, below forecast and also below the key 50-point mark that divides expansion from contraction. Manufacturing also contracting. It comes in at 45.1. That is better than last month's 43 and ahead of expectations. Joining me is Rob Dobson, senior economist at data provider Markit. Is Germany heading into recession?
There's every possibility. It held above, stayed in expansion according to GDP figures for Q2. We're likely to see Germany contracting in Q3. That puts it at risk, if demand doesn't improve, of falling into recession possibly at the end of the year.
And how bad is it going to be?
Well, I think Germany's not going to be one of those countries which is exceptionally bad, but it is a very open international trader, big exporter. What we've seen is these numbers for manufacturing, very weak export orders number, and if global economic conditions continue to deteriorate, continue to slow, that could hit Germany going ahead.
Services pretty much wipe out any gains, if you like, in manufacturing. Manufacturing still looks pretty bad, but it's improved. What happened to services?
Well, with services, what we saw was last month, a little bit of an expansion, but what we've seen is a renewed downturn in services. And again, this is pervasive of that weak demand picture. What we're seeing is orders, new business across both manufacturing and services slowing down, falling, and that's obviously hitting activity at the headline level.
There's a theme here, which is not surprising, and that is this big drop in export numbers. We saw it in Germany today. We've seen it in China today. We saw it in Japan yesterday.
And that's the case. What we're seeing very much is, earlier in the year we were talking very much about the Eurozone debt crisis, and that's still ongoing. But now we're getting a secondary effect, which is we're seeing global economic conditions falling in tandem with this. And this has been reflected in our China numbers today, including that China export orders index. That was another one which was a weak export number.
Weakest since, what, March 09?
March 09, yes. And this is basically stating that what we're seeing across the global economy is demand slowing, and if that doesn't pick up, then we're going to see those headline outlook numbers continue to be weak as well.
Let me get a quick word on employment. It's also always something we talk about in Germany. It looked for a while things were getting worse, but actually they seem to be holding their head above water.
Well, the German labour market's been, continuously, if not strong, at least holding its ground throughout most of this period of recovery. And when the Eurozone started to fall back, German labour market held up, and we've seen it this month again with further job creation in Germany. And again, this just reflects what Germany did 10 years ago. What they did was they went through all these reforms when other Eurozone countries weren't, and maybe they're getting some of the benefit for doing that during the current period.
So just to recap, recession by the end of the year, you think?
There's every possibility in that.
OK, Rob, many thanks for joining us. Rob Dobson from Markit. That's it from me. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.